Have you ever watched someone you know, someone brilliant, educated, the type of person who always has the right answers in a debate, suddenly make a decision so terrible, so obviously wrong, that you almost can't believe it? Maybe it was a friend who graduated top of the class but fell for the most obvious scam online. Or a famous genius who invested millions in a project doomed to fail. Or maybe you've been there yourself. You aced exams, you know how the world works, and yet you made a choice that left you shaking your head later, wondering, what on earth was I thinking? It's one of the strangest paradoxes in life. The smarter people are, the more foolish their mistakes sometimes look. But why is that? Shouldn't intelligence protect us from stupidity? Or is there something deeper at play in the way our minds work? To answer that, let's start with a simple truth. Being smart isn't the same as being wise. Intelligence often gets measured by IQ, grades, problem solving, or technical skills. Wisdom, on the other hand, is the ability to apply judgment, humility, and perspective in real life. Smart people are excellent at finding answers, but sometimes they're so confident in their ability to solve problems that they skip the boring steps, like double-checking, listening to advice, or admitting they don't know everything. This confidence bias, as psychologists call it, is one of the main reasons intelligent people trip over their own minds. They trust themselves too much. The smarter you are, the easier it is to convince yourself you're right, even when you're very, very wrong. Another reason is something called rationalization. Smart people are often skilled at arguing and building logical explanations. But this talent can backfire. Instead of using logic to test reality, they use logic to defend bad choices. Imagine a genius explaining why gambling just this once is actually a smart investment, or why a clearly toxic relationship is secretly good for them. They spin narratives so convincing that even they start believing them. In a way, intelligence becomes a double-edged sword. The smarter the person, the more complicated their excuses. Then there's the trap of overthinking. Intelligence gives people more tools to analyze situations, but that also means more opportunities to get stuck in mental loops. A simple decision, like choosing a career or buying a house, can spiral into endless what-ifs. What if I regret it? What if there's a better option? What if I don't live up to expectations? Ironically, in trying to make the perfect decision, they freeze, delay, or choose something impulsive just to end the torture. This is sometimes called analysis paralysis, and it's one of the most common ways bright minds sabotage themselves. Smart people also tend to overestimate how much they can control. They believe that with enough effort, planning, or intelligence, they can bend reality to their will. But life doesn't work that way. Markets crash. People betray. Accidents happen. When the unexpected strikes, highly intelligent individuals can struggle more than others because it shakes their belief in their ability to outthink fate. And when they try to outsmart randomness, they sometimes make decisions that backfire spectacularly. Think of brilliant inventors who bet everything on a single product, or CEOs who ignore obvious warning signs because they believe they're the exception to the rule. And let's not forget emotions. Intelligence doesn't cancel out fear, desire, pride, or love. In fact, smart people sometimes underestimate just how much their emotions drive their decisions. They think, I'm too logical to fall for that. But we're all human. Someone might be brilliant in mathematics, but blind when it comes to matters of the heart. Or a world-class scientist might be easily manipulated by flattery. Intelligence might help explain the world, but it doesn't immunize you against being human. And humans are messy, emotional creatures. So if intelligence isn't enough, what's missing? That's where wisdom and self-awareness come in. The smartest people who make consistently good decisions aren't the ones with the highest IQs, but the ones who know their own weaknesses. They understand that no matter how clever they are, they can still be wrong. They slow down, seek advice, and admit uncertainty. They know when to trust intuition and when to challenge it. They don't let their brain run wild without checking in with reality. In other words, they balance brain power with humility. It's also worth noting that society often pressures smart people into risky or flashy decisions. If you're labeled as intelligent, people expect you to lead, innovate, and never fail. That pressure can make you chase bold, dangerous paths just to prove yourself. And when failure comes, it looks bigger and more dramatic because expectations were higher in the first place. A stupid choice by a smart person gets noticed more, criticized more, and remembered longer. Part of why we think smart people make stupid decisions is because those mistakes stand out so much more. In the end, the paradox isn't really about intelligence making people dumb. It's about how intelligence, without balance, creates blind spots.